rebalanced the audio. So we'll see if that is something that I need to adjust for. Imagine using a full keyboard. Literally couldn't be me. Alright. New patch, new me. Supposedly they haven't patched anything speedrun related. So that's nice. They've been really nice about that. Even the mantle warps and stuff are still in, supposedly. But also just buffs to the dragon and the Atlan, so this is just a faster patch to play on. Yeah, the sound effects are like non-audible now. Let me know if it's too loud now. I feel like now the sound effects are going to be too loud, but we'll see. First try, let's go. Okay, now my audio is getting crunchy because it's too loud. I'm literally hearing like some distortion on it. Seems a little bit better, like 70%. Dude, that was really fast. How did I not block that? Sound effects do be sounding a little crunchy now. Little crunch. I think my sound settings are a little bit messed up now. Oh, there's R2 spawns in Nightmare, I guess. But 3? Oh. That guy's new. Not from the patch, I don't think. I think I tried to wait around for the spawns. They spawn in different spots. Oh shit. No, there definitely is more enemies in this encounter on this patch. This is just a bigger encounter on this patch for sure. Yeah, just now. I wonder if the buffs are going to be better. The body just totally blocked that. That's great. That's the first thing I noticed, is that there's 2 extra imp spawns and an extra pinky spawn in that fight. I suppose I should just continue to see what the differences are so far. Bum, 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 bum. So let's keep going. See if there's any other changes. That's not like a huge deal, but it probably does lose like 20 seconds in that fight. Bruh. What's up, Tamar? Bruh. There we go. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom, boom. So I haven't seen any changes to combat so far. Just that one. If it's just that one arena, it's probably still faster. Oh, it didn't split. Okay, auto splitter is broken. So no. It's supposed to do it automatically. That's interesting. I'm surprised the auto splitter broke because they use 6 scans. Okay, you can still get that skip. Wow. Variable imps is nice. But that might just be because I died. I doubt they fixed that. So just try to finish a run. Just see the changes, if there are many. No spawns there. Unlucky. Bum, 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 bum. Those guys are in different spots. They're not sitting in the middle anymore. They sit on the extremities. It's a small change. I'm worried about this combat encounter. This combat encounter was hard before, and I don't know if they... I have a feeling they might have made it harder. Okay. They didn't make it harder, I just suck. Well, at least I can't conclude that yet. I will say that being able to parry imp attacks does make the run a lot faster. I should figure out exactly where I need to restart checkpoint or die or whatever to accomplish that. I'm out of disk space. I can't continue recording. That's fine. I'm not entirely convinced that Hell Knight existed before. I don't think he did. Nice, I fell from that. Ah! Load remover's broken. Oh. Yeah, this level should be easier slash faster because they buffed the alt-line in this patch. So you should keep your upgrades a little bit more after using them. Like when you have like a punch, right? You use the punch, it goes all the way down to 0 and you can't do the kick. Shouldn't do that anymore. You should still have the kick, yeah. That's actually big. Are drops on? No clue. Never really cared about drops. Well, the game certainly doesn't crash less. I should try that hardware acceleration thing though, next time I stream. I guess it's early enough, I could maybe try it today, but not right now. I see tomorrow. When are you getting a new PC? Single player games crashing. Yep. Nodders. Good old modern gaming. Super, super common. I suspect that the changes to the Altman, the mech, and to the dragon will be worth the extra enemies in combat. I could be wrong though. I think especially the dragon one will be big. We'll have to see, I guess. To refigure out my audio balancing though, because man, this audio is crunchy right now. You think, CTV? I mean, he does it in cutscenes and shit, so. Yeah, this is gonna speed up the all-in sections a lot. Don't carry it through the transition, unfortunate. I totally missed that punch. Yeah, it should definitely make the all-in sections faster. Probably next week. Let's go, dude. Oh yeah, do you know what you're gonna get specs-wise? That's pretty hype. You're on a 1080? Rough, dude. Yeah, it's not gonna be enough to run this game. What's up, man? Excellent luck. I cannot believe I hit that parry. Damn, I didn't get the 3-hit combo off there. So my timer is going to be not fair at all because in my PB I'm using a load remover. So it's going to like stop every time I reload checkpoint and also stop every time I'm in between missions. Like my PB did that, but this is not gonna do that. I feel like enemies are more aggressive on this patch. Specifically like right after spawning. Jesus, okay. Thank you for robbing me of my glory kill there. Yeah, because look, they're all on me. Normally these guys just stay in their spawn spots. There's an extra Hell Knight here. I bet you there's an extra Pinky too. Oh, there's way more enemies in this room. Holy fuck. Jesus, man. There weren't any stone imps at all before. That was like 7 stone imps. There weren't invisible imps either. May keep it spawn during the first Vagary champion fight now. Jesus. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's still gonna be faster to play on old patch even with the buffs because of all these extra enemies. Oh, excuse me. Pardon me. Yeah, what? This is fucked. This patch is so much harder, holy shit. Well, that's great. Well, let's see the dragon changes. The dragon is like the section where it should, in theory, save the most time to play on this patch. Because the dodges... Every single attack should be the dodge attack. That one didn't do anything. There was no attack, a big attack. There's not a guy there? There's one less guy? Two less guys? Interesting. So 2 less enemies there. Is the story / lore behind this game? There isn't any. Story in Doom games is awful and not comprehensible. What's up, dude? Slash, how you doing, dude? Okay, so you're definitely gonna save time here. On the dragon sections, for sure. We already knew that. Not expecting much. I'm hearing this Doom guy starting out is enough. Demons invade Earth. No, it's way more complicated than that, unfortunately. And like I literally don't understand what's happening during the cutscene kind of way. That definitely is gonna save time. Like a lot of time. In the dragon sections. The problem is there's only like 3 dragon sections in the game. So even if they save a minute on those, it's like, I don't know if it's worth the extra combat. God, that's so nice though. That is really, really nice. God, the audio is fried right now. That guy had like the rainbow effects. Bum 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 I think actually it might be faster to play on this version if you're doing easy difficulty. But on Nightmare, I feel like the combat's too scary. Already in just the few things that were changed. I'm suspecting that in late game even more stuff's going to be changed. And that'll be a bigger deal. Nice shield, lol. Does he have more health? What's up, Sebby? How'd your runs go, dude? You get some too? God, the audio is fried. I was kind of expecting an extra enemy there. Not that one though. Get a 158. Let's go, dude. GG. How'd Arkham go? No deaths? New Doppelstrat? Coming in clutch? Ouch. New strat, new gold. Huge. I have no idea. There, Erica. I was wondering about that because they put the marker on it now when you alter stuff on UN, right? So I don't know if it counts anymore for the skin. No death? Fuck yeah, dude. GG. I guarantee you that this combat encounter is harder too. I think that enemy aggression is just higher. At least, like, more specifically, it is for sure. There's Mancubus in this arena. That's one extra Mancubus. Two extra Mancubus. This arena was hard enough already, bro. And there's a shield guy now too. 4 extra Mancubus. Okay. And 2 extra shield guys. That's, yep. Last fight of Holy City has 4 extra Mancubus and 4 chain gunners. Has been for like a year. Kappa hasn't been banned in a while. Okay. They despawn after you kill the baggery, though. Yeah, the game is so much harder now. Like, way harder. I've also noted enemies have increased aggression when they spawn. They no longer stand still or aim. I am afraid to find out what I see on Siege 1. Noted, noted. I've pretty much already come to the conclusion though that we will not be using this patch for this run. It's already a much harder version of the game. That fight was the same. Yeah, the newest update, there's a lot of extra enemies in the combat encounters, it seems. Not in the patch notes, of course. And it seems like increased enemy aggression too. This was one of the harder fights in the whole game, so I'm curious if they maybe even made this one easier. I wouldn't be super shocked if they did, actually. So far, I haven't seen any changes. Yeah, so far, exactly the same. Oh, maybe not? I think they removed the spider. Oh wait, no, there it is. I just didn't actually started the fight yet. Yeah. That's my bad. I wasn't paying too much attention to the enemy spawns and not enough attention to the bar on the screen. When I spread misinformation. Let me double check something. Enemy aggression is maxed. Is that? Yeah, I think they increased the aggression on max aggression. Because I think Nightmare already had max aggression. But I think they just like removed some of the... There probably were some enemies that when they spawned, they got stuck in a loop for a second. So they didn't immediately aggro. They seem to have fixed that. It's like good for them, I guess, but that's going to make things harder. So far, none of the skips have been patched, though. None of the speed tech. That's nice. Just harder arenas and more aggressive enemies. I'm sorry. I'm keeping up with the Discord as well to see what other people are saying. Because I want to see, like, what's in the update, you know? So if I'm like not playing or looking at something, that's what it is. I'm just looking at the Discord. Cryptic just said he expects a fully written report of all the changes on his desk tomorrow. So it seemed that last common encounter was unchanged. I wonder if that's a change right there, or if I'm coping. Because that Manky just came out of stun, but then he didn't have extra health. A lot of times when enemies come out of stun, at least in the previous patch, they have like a lot of extra health. But maybe that wasn't intended. They fixed that, potentially. Or that could have just been lucky. Wow, that bite hits really early in the animation. I didn't see anything different there. What's up, Umbra? How you doing, dude? You seen this new patch? It's pretty fucking gnarly so far. Same. Some of the early game combat encounters are so much harder now. The very first Vagary fight has Mancubus spawns in it. That one is gnarly. The Vagary fight at the end of the first dragon section also has Mancubus, like 4 Mancubus and 4 chain gunners. I'm just playing a run out to see what changed mostly. I don't think this patch will be good for speedruns though, because of those changes already. Also, like the first mission's last combat encounter, the one with the pinkies. There's 2 extra pinkies and a couple extra imps. It's a full patch. It changed so much actually that the auto splitter broke, even though it was using SIG scanning. No, but I mean, I was already playing downpatch. It's not hard. If you have the game files, you could just store them. You can download it from Steam Depot, the files. I have my old files. I saved them separately just in case. But yeah, us in particular, the early game combat is a lot more difficult. But the Atlan sections and the Dragon sections are definitely faster, like a lot faster. I just don't think it's going to be enough to make it worth. I've never heard of it happening, Strabo. That would be unfortunate if so. We would just have to pirate it then. Maybe. I don't even know if you can. I guess I'd imagine you could. Need this gold. Why does the chain shot do that sometimes? It's really annoying. Oh, okay. Hello. How are you not dead? I'm wondering if they put the super shotgun nerf like in the game through the files, because you can do this update but not do the tunables. So like I'm pretty sure the Ravager debuff is not in this update. Like you could just use the firewall rule to get rid of the tunables. It feels like enemy aggression is just higher than normal. So far, it doesn't seem like Siege 1 or Siege 2 had any changes to the combat yet. Maybe they just thought early game specifically was too easy. It's possible. There's an extra chain gunner there. That one's not super notable, but there is an extra chain gunner there. I fixed my money route, that's nice. Yeah, so yeah, I'm wondering. I don't know. It's kind of a toss-up right now. I'm not entirely convinced that this is like that it's impossible. Like that this is faster. Like it could be, I suppose. I guess it depends on like how much like if the later sections have really big combat changes. The early game is going to be way slower in this run, but it's like how much time do the mech changes and the dragon changes save? I'm more worried about like dying though in early game. And definitely like early game combat's gonna be way slower. Shield guys there are all way closer together. That's a really minor change. There's actually a faster change. Like that saves time. Yo, what's up, Snam? You haven't beaten Nightmare because the patch that just came out 20 minutes ago makes the game way harder. How you doing, dude? Yeah. They put out another patch, yeah, like 20 minutes ago. The game is way harder now. Enemy aggression's higher. And there's a bunch of extra enemy spawns in the early game combat encounters. I'm doing a run right now and seeing where the changes are primarily. I'm doing solid. I'm stoked that video's doing so well. First 1 out of 10 on that YouTube channel in over 2 years probably. So I'm stoked about it. Thank you. I just gotta revive my other one. Okay, that fight seemed the same. I don't know if there's changes to these fights, but I'm not gonna do them, so. Well, I guess I do the first one. Like you wouldn't if you were doing a really fast run. Of course, they still didn't fix the issue where you always start with the bad shotgun. That's still in the game. Didn't fix the issue with my aim either. How dare they? It's software, what the fuck? Get on that. Is there no longer a snake? No, I just couldn't find him. I'm starting to suspect that the only changes that they made are in the beginning of the game. If that's the case, then it might still be worth to play on this version, actually. Yeah, I'm taking notes in the Discord of like the things that have changed. There's some pretty big changes for the speedrun. Like, they buffed the alt one. And they buffed the dragon sections. So now the dragon sections, you only ever get attacks that you can parry. They just don't, you don't ever get other attacks. Yeah. And then they made it so in the Atlan, if you have a higher charge attack and you use it, it doesn't use up all of your charge. It only uses up the highest charge. So like if you have a punch, you can use the punch and then you can also use the stomp independently. So that makes the Atlan sections a lot faster. The game feel too easy to start with? I thought so, yeah. In my first playthrough, I thought the game was too easy. So it's like the balance changes make sense, but for the speedrun, it might not be the right patch to play on, you know? The game being easier does make it faster usually. Thought that always existed? No. It would go away like entirely. You do the power punch. They might have just moved that from being a tunable to like being actually in the game. How I like Dark Ages compared to Eternal. It's nowhere near as good, but it also doesn't need to be. It's its own thing. Eternal is one of the best games ever made, so it's tough competition. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that the SSG debuff and the Ravager debuff are still tunables though, so you can get the upgrade but not do the tunables. Yeah, I really gotta figure out what I did to get the parryable attacks back on the imps, because man, this game is so much easier when you can parry imps. There's a specific spot where you can reload checkpoint. That seemed to be the same still. What's up, White Devil? Warm-up run? No, a new patch dropped. I'm doing a run to test the new patch. So supposedly there is a performance or like a stability up added with this update. I have crashed once already though in the Outland. What's up, uppercase? You ready to do your alt max sliders run again? The game is way harder now, so and they haven't patched anything speedrun related, at least so far. But there are more enemies in some of the combat encounters, like a lot of them. It's like the first Vagary fight, for example, has Mancubus spawns in it.
Look at you, making a big dramatic entrance and stealing my spotlight.
You got secret things for the raid, dude? You just do a new run with the new patch, Pog? Also, enemy aggression is just up, I think. How's your stream, man? What are you up to? Just looking at new changes. Find anything? Anything changed for unrestricted? I think this patch is faster for unrestricted, actually. I think what Blood Thunder said is probably true. The faster for unrestricted, probably slower for unrestricted. Sprint triggers faster now? Oh, that's cool. Even when hard falling? Hell yeah. Enemies are more aggressive when they spawn in now. I mean, you could have always turned the sprint effect off, but I think it's off by default now when you use auto sprint. I fucking love fodder, dude. Ads are my favorite. It seems, I don't think I've seen a single combat encounter change past the 4th level. Like, I don't think Siege or Beyond has had, actually that's not true. There was the double chain gunner. Hello, is this Doom Eternal? Barrels don't explode on 40 series cards. I think the last change I saw in combat encounters was on the Siege 2. Oh yeah, really? Damn. That's cool. This is not because of the patch, I just suck. I need the practice for league in combat anyways. It does seem like overall enemy aggression is higher though. That could be cope, but I know that for sure when enemies spawn in, I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but when enemies spawn in, a lot of times they have like a scripted, before at least they had like a section of time where they wouldn't move. Like they would spawn and just kind of stay in place and wait for you to come near them, like their aggro range. That shit is gone now in some combat encounters. I feel like they just instantly aggro at you and run at you. Specifically in the first couple levels. I think probably the craziest new fight is the Impaler fight. That fight was really easy before. Now it is fucking not. Also, dude, they totally did that. Yeah. They fixed, you know how when you kill enemies? Sorry, talking is hard while playing. So like when you are fighting an enemy and you falter them, and then you don't get the kill before the falter's over, right? Like they would get their health back, right? But like right there, that Mancubus faltered and then unfaltered, and I could just kill him in one shot, right? Like he didn't get his health back, which is actually a nice upgrade. So I don't know, it's kind of a coin toss right now. No enemy spawn there, or maybe it's because I died to them earlier. Yeah, they stay at 1 HP instead of like regaining their health from the falter. That is nice. But dude, the early game is so much harder now. I need to learn how to skip that combat encounter. I thought that was gonna do it. But I think maybe you have to land in the mantle. Did I just get the challenge for the rocket launcher? No way, right? That was fault line. Well, I got 0. They fixed fault line, I think. I think fault line before was broken, and I think it's fixed now. Because you would just get it from killing the first enemies sometimes. That's gonna make this way harder on Hundo. I was just typing in the Discord that about enemy falters not resetting HP anymore. Oh, I should probably talk about the rocket challenge on, was this Hellbreaker? No, this is the one before level. What level is this? On the Hell level. There. I still get the insta kills, so definitely the tunables are not on. Did they make this fight easier? No. There he is. I just couldn't find him. It might be faster to play on this patch, actually. Am I live on YouTube? Yeah, I am, Cruz. Hey, dude. Early game is gonna be a lot harder, but I don't know, it's really gonna depend. Because I don't think that they buffed like late game combat encounters, only early game ones. You're gonna have to reprocess your Deathless ILs up to Siege 1? Oh yeah, easily for sure, because those are now gonna be the hardest parts of the run, probably. Okay. Especially if there's stability updates though, like if the stability updates are good, then it might be worth playing on this version. Just for that alone, just for no crashes. What's that, White Devil? But you also save so much time in the combat and the mech sections. The final battle level is gonna be huge too. I don't think this section should change at all. Ooh, actually, wait a second. Did they nerf this? I feel like you can shoot less time. Maybe I'm coping. Is it like per shot now instead of time based? Or maybe nothing changed, I'm just an idiot, I don't know. There's no shop here anymore. They removed the shop after the mech in Hellbreaker. That's weird. There's no shop here anymore. That is a weird change. I don't know why they changed that. Maybe it was causing crashes or something? I don't think I've ever crashed in this level, so. Or well, actually, that's not true. Maybe it is causing crashes in the mech section. I crash only in the mech section here. Yeah, I'm typing them in the Discord. That's where I'm typing at. The skip is like so not worth doing in Nightmare, but I just need to see if it still works. I'm so bad at it now. They might have patched it. I could just suck. Very possible that I just suck. I think they patched it. Because while I do, oh, never mind. I just suck. Oh, they moved the shop here. They moved the shop over here. Interesting. So they didn't remove it entirely. That makes more sense. I guess the idea is you want people to like try out the new shield rune, and then if they like it, they'll upgrade it maybe. 'Cause, 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 'cause Maybe that's the thought process. That would make sense. Yeah, I'm live tweeting all the changes. Whoa, I just broke that open without like getting an animation. That's cool. I don't know if that's new or if I just got lucky. Where's the chain gunner? Does he have random spawns? God, I fucking love chain gunners. Imagine they patch in from Berserk. We'll find out, I guess. That would suck. If that's the case, then they're definitely not running this patch. Yeah, that shield gunner is just random. He's always there, but where he spawns in the room is random. Yeah, I don't think they patched it, but we'll see. Seeker did a run, I think, on the new patch, unrestricted. So he would have noticed if that was the case and said something. So I don't think they did. Yeah, thank you, Matthew. Bum, 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 bum. The early game is going to be so much harder now, though. Holy shit. You're going to lose a lot of time there, probably. But we'll see. I'm actually leaning towards this being the faster patch. Now, I was expecting there to be more changes, but... Ooh, I don't know if they patched this or not. Let's find out. It did not. Nice. First try, by the way. Okay, tell me they made this arena easier. Because I fucking hate this arena. I'm stuck on the floor. Help me, step bro. Oh, okay. That seems like way less fodder. It might actually be made easier. I don't know. I might have just done that room really well, but it seemed like less. This is actually probably the hardest room in the game before, in my opinion. And do you think Dark Age weapons are more OP than others? Well, the game is designed around you're being able to just use one weapon the whole time. So just by virtue of that, they all have to be better, yeah. Some people said that they seem like they got performance boosts. I don't know if I have or not, but I might have. I've only crashed once. It was in a mech, so that's, you know. I'm just gonna try to run past these guys. Oh, there's definitely less fodder. Oh, look at, holy shit, they nerfed this room. That's huge, actually. You see how easy that room was? I just ran past everything. Thank fuck, actually. That room was awful before. Okay. Okay, we're cooking. Maybe this update is the move. Do we still get the Ravager when we reload checkpoint here? Yes, we do. The dragon changes are huge. So are the mech changes. Dude, I wonder if you still get both combat encounters at the same time down here. Surely you do, right? It seems like yes. This may keep it spawned from the other combat encounter, so. The dragon change, it's just one change basically. There's less enemies in some sections in the dragon. And also, you only ever get parryable attacks in the dragon now. It's a really, really nice change. Yeah, they upped the duration of the dragon's buff as well, so that's useful. They definitely didn't make these overlapped encounters easier, that's for sure. Not that I was expecting them to, and you're not supposed to do them this way. This is still the hardest combat encounter in the game. I'm dead. Yeah, I got my challenge. Maybe I go through here. Kill the stone imps. This combat is just insane. Actually. If I go in here, I can kill the snakes. God, dude. This room is so fucking hard. Whoa. He attacked me like over the railing. God damn, dude. It's not even the... God, it's never the heavies that kill you, huh? It's always the fodder. Wait, what? Yeah, dude, the zombie just ate my butthole. God, this fight is so hard. That just goes through the wall. That's cool. I want that health anyways. Stone imps and the first snake spawn in here, so could go in there. I parried, I swear. Please believe me. This is still the hardest level in the game. Did that Mancubus just blow up a barrel with his attack? I didn't even... know that was possible. God, man, this arena is so ass. What's up, BDI? Thanks for luck, dude. This isn't even buffed from last time, I'm pretty sure. It's just like so hard. Not out of the ordinary, just having a normally difficult time. Dude, what even killed me? I usually do switch my shield rune back to ground fissure here, and I probably should. Because the turret sucks, and this is the hardest combat encounter in the game. You don't really want a shield rune that sucks for the hardest combat encounter in the game. What is killing me? I can't even tell, dude. God, fodder, please chill for 1 second. Nice Revenant. Like, I don't know, you can't play slow because there's fodder everywhere. But you also can't play fast because there's fodder everywhere. Like, maybe rockets? I don't know. There's so many enemies there. Right, Specsec? What's up, Ramek? How you doing, dude? Look at how many fodder there are over here. They just respawn. Wow, that's some crazy damage. That hurt me so deeply. Okay. That's a word I don't understand. What? The barrel just explode? I don't understand where the barrels explode. They can just go through walls? Like... Okay, fine. I'll Google it. Fucking why? What, like fucking why do I not speak German? Because I'm not from Germany, dude. What do you want from me? You called me a summoner. What? What does that mean? Please. I'm dealing with enough bullshit in this game. I don't need this too. I don't know if that's an extra Hell Knight or if that guy's always there. I hope he's always there. Don't make you sad. I don't think I can stop you. I just like this. God, this arena is impossible. It's so fucked, dude. I knew I needed to practice it, but goddamn. I just like do that maybe. No, the Revenant is just going to literally tear my pants off and fuck my butthole. Great, good for him. Oh, what? That's why I'm taking so much damage. At the start of the fight. I'm like so confused. Holy shit, I'm actually just stupid. It's this motherfucker. He's up here. He doesn't die. He doesn't die when you do the jump across with the new thing. And so he's just here waiting to dive bomb you when you least expect it. There's a rev too. God, fuck. No. This is just two combat encounters at the same time. But that's normal for the speedrun. Can you just not do that? That'd be great. This corner seems nice. I like this corner. In this corner are friends. Instantly leaves. Well, I mean, to kill the first wave is what I mean. I swear enemy aggression in general is just higher though on this patch. God, dude. One fodder hits you. Bing bong. Fuck your life. It's over. Okay, and then after I'm in there, I go in here to kill those two fucks. Dude, the stone imps. Are insane in the membrane, dude. This looks way harder than it was. I don't know what would actually be making it harder though. That's the thing. I'm pretty sure I'm like counting enemies and it's the same amount, I think. This is always the hardest combat encounter in the run, for sure. And there's a fucking, like, what? This encounter always have so many enemies? Yes. You're doing 2 encounters at the same time. That's what I've been saying. Because the skip you do earlier in the mission, you skip the initial arena encounter down here, and then you do both of them at the same time. Which makes it really fucking hard, obviously. But I think Tony's saying that it feels harder than when you were doing 2 arenas at the same time before. Which I can attest, I do feel like is also true. I can't really pinpoint why though. I haven't counted any extra enemies. I think everyone that's here has been here. But I really do think that maybe enemy aggression is just higher on this version. Actually, that guy might be new. I think enemy aggression is just higher overall on this patch. I mean, the only noticeable extra aggression is the mech running at you in the Hell Knight full sprint at you every time now. Yeah, I've noticed that at the beginning of the game, there were a lot of sections where, yeah, the pulverizer might be really good for that arena. That's a good idea, Vistrict. I should practice it more. There were a lot of sections where pinkies, when they spawn in, will just stand still on old patch, but they just like sprint at you. Like as soon as they spawn in, they're like on your cock immediately, which makes the early game encounters way harder. And there's also more of them. So I mean, I don't know. Increased enemy aggression isn't always a bad thing. I was literally just thinking that, I was wondering if the game's gonna crash less, but no, it seems to crash about the same. Yeah, the Impaler room. The Impaler room and also the last room in Village that isn't a fucking shooting gallery. I need to turn hardware acceleration on and restart my computer. That might get rid of the crashes. That's like, it says to try that in the settings, like on the launch. But this is so much faster. Like, look at this. Always parryable attack and the dragon, literally always. And also you keep the upgrade much longer. Like it's still going. So the dragon sections are like so fast. Definitely not Swix, like. So the dragon and mech sections are faster, but then the other sections are slower. It's like, I don't know, man. I don't know, it's gonna be faster overall. Seems like way too much of a buff. I'm here for it, dude. That means you could totally kill those guys because you still have the buff from that. So you get a bunch of gold there. I guess just like get good at combat, right? Just don't die, but being able to play more fast and loose is obviously faster, so. I think they made one of the more difficult combat encounters easier, actually. So it's not just making every combat encounter harder. God, I just can't kill snakes. They're impossible. That one combat encounter they made easier is going to be really nice. Oh yeah, and the change that they made to like enemy falter, regaining HP. Is pretty huge. This combat counter is so hard, dude. Like, Jesus. Why does the spider switch positions? What, like what? I'm pretty sure enemy aggression is higher. Cause like, dude, what are these? The zombies are crazy. Look at all these little shits flying across the map. The soldiers, I mean, rather. And it crashed. And that fight was going good. I was gonna beat it that time. This level in particular, from below, crashes for me the most of any level in the game. Easily. I do need to try to turn hardware acceleration on though. Maybe that'll fix it. If it does, that'd be a godsend. Be amazing. But I have to restart my PC to try it, so I don't want to do that until... Wait, the auto splitter's working again. Or like, it stops on crashes still. It's weird. Stops on crashes, but it doesn't stop on loads anymore. Very strange. I love snakes, especially when they don't give a fuck about one of the most important game mechanics in the whole game. The shield throw. That was a scary moment. That hits me over the wall from way back there? I didn't think it would. Okay. That's on me, I guess. I just didn't think he had it in him. Where is bro going? He's on the moon, bro. Okay. Maybe pole riders get in this arena, you know? We have it upgraded for fuck's sake. Nice, love that for me. I feel like they nerfed shield bash. I don't know. I'm coping. Will the snake ever die? Find out on the next episode. And it crashed. Okay. That's nice. I figured. They just made the combat a lot harder. I don't know. It's gonna be a super coin toss whether this is faster for runs or not. I think on easy difficulty it will be for sure. Actually, like restricted classic. But I don't know about on nightmare. I feel like it's harder. I feel like enemy aggression's higher. There are some really nice things, quality of life, combat stuff. Damn, Umbra, rip. Yeah, I think on the low difficulty, it's not going to matter so much, the extra enemy spawns and the extra enemy aggression. It might actually save time, the extra aggression. I have a NVIDIA, I have a 4080. Yeah, it might actually save time on easy, but on Nightmare, it's like so much harder, the combat. But maybe like, if you just get good, it'll be worth it. Because... Did they add like HP buffs to these dudes? Because of the buff they give to the dragon? Why? Oh, what? Like, I'm so confused. I haven't seen any new enemies in a combat encounter in quite some time. That's definitely the same. Let's see. Spire. Yeah, it seems like they really only changed. They changed like some overall balancing stuff, but the combat encounters, it looks like they've only changed the first half, but or like the really early sections of the game. But that could be wrong because I'm pretty sure this is the halfway point on my splits, so there's still lots of time, lots of game left for things to have changed. Center Komodo. Oh, he's not dead. There we go. Rip Bozo. The dragon sections in this level, I don't think are going to be sped up that much because there aren't really many / any required combat encounters in the dragon. Just like these tentacle things, I think. And you already killed them in one dodge anyways. So it didn't really matter that they made it so you always get the attack. Because the first attack is always a dodge attack anyways. I'm gonna remember to get the ruby here. What is the fastest way to get this ruby? Something like that, probably. That was a really, really good fight. I see that hasn't changed. All you need to kill there is the spider and the armored mech and the vagary. I don't remember. Let me check. I remember that happened a lot. It's off. Yeah. That would like crash my whole PC in Doom Eternal to present and compute. Good shout. Even though I already had it off, but I still appreciate it. That guy's optional. Oh god, Lord. I hate that they can do that. Snakes can just like get hit by your shield saw and then hit you first and then get shield sawed. I love that for me. Not me successfully parrying the attack, but still taking damage. Thank you, Almighty Slime. Yeah, I think it does really crazy combat encounters. Using the pulverizer more could definitely help. Should try to do that. Then Ravager. Steadfast. And that. That shop is kind of out of the way, so that's definitely pretty slow, but it lets you get the Ravager upgraded all the way right from the start, like as soon as you can. I don't have to worry about upgrading it later, and also getting the extra shield rune upgrades and stuff is going to help a lot with survivability. I probably can get the one that makes my shield recover faster if it breaks earlier. I would love that if so, because that's a huge one for survivability. It's only 125. It's just like, when is it fast to stop? I think the last time I upgraded before that was like Siege 2 or something. Yeah, Ravager is like instantly useful there for the vagary. Yeah, I don't think that the dragon updates actually save any time on this level. So it's just the previous 2 dragon levels that it would save time on. I think it's really just the first dragon level actually, because I don't think the second one it saves that much time on. It can maybe get you some extra gold though, for sure. I can see that. Is that worth it if you're considering all the extra death? I'm thinking not, but the mech time save might be more significant. Maybe in Blazehead. It should be. There's no one's talking. Yeah, no one's talking. Dead streamer, bro. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'll do. It's rough. It is rough, dude. Bark, bark. I'm really conflicted. I don't know. I don't know if it's worth playing on this patch. My gut says no. Just for Nightmare and Ultra Nightmare. In theory, it might be faster, but just the changes to Sentinel Barracks alone might be enough to offset all of the time save that you get on all the other missions. Dude, enemies are so much more aggressive. Like, the enemy aggression is just higher in general, for sure. There's no way it's not. There's so many enemies where, like, I always get to them before they even move. But now they're, like, waking up and attacking me earlier. Like, these guys would never attack me, ever. I'd always beat it to them. But now they beat me to it and they attack first. Extra chain gunner in the harbor area with the spiders. I mean, it was too easy, for sure. But now the thing is, it's like, well, you know, speedrunners are always going to play on the easiest patch because why would you not, right? I don't know. I think old patch. I know for a fact old patch is easier. Whether it's faster or not, that's like a totally different story. If there was no slow-mo on the parries, this would probably be faster. Just because the increased enemy aggression would actually like save you time. But I don't think because there are parries, or because the parry has slow-mo on it, maybe it doesn't save time. Enemies were already pretty aggressive, so even more aggressive is not like better per se. I don't think that this time save on the mech sections and the dragon sections are significant enough to make up for the fact that Sentinel Barracks is so hard. And same thing with the last fight on City of whatever the fuck. Not this one, the other city level. Bruh, please. There's a better setup for this now, apparently. I need to learn it. But alas, this is the one I know currently. I think that imp is new. I was just gonna say, like, did they remove the Kako? Of course not. Yeah, I can't say about the stuff inside City of Rule that you skip. But that combat counter was the same. Can you not instant parry when your shield's out? I thought it instant teleported you. Did my shield just break on a perfect parry? Is that what I just saw? How is Crash doomed to coot? It's alright. New update came out. Testing it out. Seeing if it will be good or bad for speedruns. Verdict so far seems faster for easy. Harder slash slower for Nightmare. What's up, John Scoom? Yeah, good to see you. I hope you're doing well. I think so far I've counted one room that's been nerfed, but everything has been buffed. Just die, please. That was when the game is patched and tricks no longer work. Did they make another leaderboard? No, you just play downpatch. You just don't play on that patch. Because if you think about it, like, what would be the point in playing on the slower patch, you know? Because the game can always change. You can't just decide that you're always going to play on current patch. Otherwise, at any point, all of the record history and stuff could just mean nothing. Like, if you look at Left 4 Dead 2, for example, the game had been out for 13 years, and there hadn't been an update in 12 years. And then they updated the game to add Last Stand and patched out like all of the speedrun tech. And so it's like, what? You just like delete 13 years of speedrunning history and just move on and make a new leaderboard? Like, that's dumb, you know? Who's gonna do that? So you just play on an earlier version. And you standardize leaderboards based on the fastest version, and you just switch to whatever version's fastest. Sometimes you might find out that the version you were playing on isn't actually the fastest, and the other version is faster. But that's pretty standard in speedrunning. Is the version hopping. Because it's not very hard to do. And also, it is the best way to have preservation, not only of like speedruns, but of the game itself. Just downpatch. Storing previous versions and stuff. I really just wanted to kill him, but okay. Now I'm gonna die to the rev. Jesus. Yeah, I mean, you can, even if you don't have it backed up, you can download it from places. Like even through Steam, you can download old versions. So. Requires a little bit of working around stuff, but. Oh man, that's the first time I missed that in a while. That sucks. How? Die, thank you. You can't glory kill with the BFC out. Today I learned. No, they have downpatch. Like I said, every game does. People seem to like get kind of butthurt about speedrunners downpatching sometimes, but it doesn't make any sense. Like all of the most iconic things in speedrunning are downpatch. Like Half-Life, for example. Newer versions of Half-Life, like the Steam version of Half-Life, don't even really have bunny hopping. Or Super Mario 64, the backwards long jump was patched out a long time ago. If you play like new versions of SM64, there is no BLJs. Like the Switch version? Not have BLJs. Half-Life with no bunny hopping? What a disgrace. I know, it's tragic. Like no one wants to see that. That might give me a good opportunity to talk about more speedrun philosophy stuff in my next main channel video though. Did your board open yet? It is. Yes, it opened up 2 days ago. I don't think I've seen any substantial changes to any of the combat encounters this late in the game. It's mostly all like front half stuff. But yeah, like I really want to talk about this in a video because I don't think people understand this. I've been thinking about it a lot lately because I had some posts blow up on TikTok and people just don't understand speedrunning. So I want to maybe like try to put this into my next video. That'd be about restricted in this game. Is that like I think people conflate speedrunning a game with playing the game. If that makes sense. Like they see speedrunning the game as an extension of playing the game, as if they're the same thing. Thinking of it as like a way to play the game. I think that's like kind of a bad way to think about it though. I think a more useful way to think about it is like when you speedrun a game, you are creating a meta game. Like you think about it this way, right? Like games are a set of mechanics and rules that you engage with, right? So if you think about like playing tag, you know, if you play tag, the game of tag has very like specific metas that are enjoyable and are optimal while playing tag. But if you were to add a variable to the game, like let's say you add a timer, like you're playing tag, but you only have 60 seconds to tag the next person, otherwise the game ends, right? Like all you're doing is playing tag fast, right? Like in concept, right? Like it's just playing tag fast. That's all you're doing. So you would think that like playing tag would look the same regardless if there's a timer or not, but that's not how games work, because when you add a new variable, it affects all other variables. So for example, with tag, right? Like if you have to tag someone in the next 60 seconds, otherwise the game's over, then your long-term stamina does not matter, because all that matters is those 60 seconds, right? So you don't have to like pace yourself and try not to run out of energy because, you know, you might get tagged over the course of the next 10 minutes, right? Like only thing that matters is that you don't get tagged or that you tag someone in the next 60 seconds. And that creates a completely different game. When even the only thing you did was add a timer to an already existing game. But that completely changes the dynamic, right? It's now a completely different game, which basically needs like a new name, right? So if you apply that to speedrunning, it's like, I'm playing Doom the Dark Ages, but I'm not really, because I'm speedrunning Doom the Dark Ages. And when I add the timer to the game, that completely changes the way I interact with every single mechanic in that game. And therefore it is a completely different game. So people have some expectation of like what a speedrun is going to look or feel like, or should look or feel like in a game. But that estimation or presumption of what it will be like or what it should be like is entirely based upon what the original game is like. But you're not playing the original game, right? Like you're playing a new game. So people get really upset when they see things that are different, right? Like when you go through like a wall or something, they're like, well, when I played the game, that's not something I did because that's not the game, right? But like, they're right, it's not the game. But you just need to conceptualize it differently, right? Like you can't think about it as a speedrun being playing the game fast. You're playing a completely unique game that you just made up by deciding to go quickly, right? It's its own unique game. It's just like if you ever, a good example I think is you watch someone like War Owl make a mod for Counter-Strike where like he's playing Counter-Strike. They play competitive Counter-Strike. The rules are very similar, but then there's some sort of variable that's changed. Like maybe, you know, it's like 10 versus 1 instead of 5 versus 5 or something, you know, and it's like, that completely changes the way that the game is played, and is ostensibly not the same game. And you wouldn't look at someone doing that and be like, well, they're playing Counter-Strike wrong. Anyone who does that, you look at them and be like, you're an idiot. Because like, obviously this is a different game, right? Yeah, because you change even a single variable, the objective of the game is different, which changes the way that you interact with every single mechanic. That's what makes speedrunning interesting. So like, of course it's not gonna look or feel the same way of playing it normally. That's the case for even for games where they have no glitches or tech, right? Because now the dynamic is completely different. You know what I mean? Even like a run like RE2 Remake, where there's pretty much not, like, almost nothing different than playing normally, it's still a completely different game because the timer adds a completely new dynamic, you know? All of the ways that you engage with every single mechanic is completely different because you're now, like, negotiating a timer. And like, that's just a fact of changing the way that you play a game. The same thing happens if you do a challenge run, right? But I think that people are more looking at speedruns to be an extension of playing the game normally and not really understanding how much of a dynamic shift it is to be like playing under a timer. And so like if you're talking about patches specifically, right? It's like that even accentuates that more, you know? Like if you're playing on a different patch, you're quite literally playing different software too. And so people get upset. There's like, well, this isn't the game I played. And it's like, well, it never was, right? Like the fact that you were trying to play it quickly makes it not the game that you played, right? Regardless of what patch you're playing on or how many glitches you use, like adding this new dynamic makes it a different game. It's fun to watch a game be broken, Scott. But like, you're not looking at it the same way. You're not like, this is now the new set of standard mechanics and interactions that this game has, right? It's like, you think of it as a different thing. I don't know why I'm stingy with my BFC shots. I literally have unlimited ammo. I fucking hate snakes, dude. That Incubus just shot behind himself. A legend. Ouch. Oh, I recalled it too early, no. Yeah, they are, Gacy Otter. Leaderboard for Restricted just opened up yesterday, actually. That's right, I need to use a BFG somewhere. I never routed my BFGs. There's an extra one up there. He never faltered, so I thought he didn't die. Okay, that Mancubus doesn't spawn fast enough to shield fly off of. That's unfortunate. Maybe he could if I stood there for a second. I don't know if that's worth it though. I was gonna try to like drop down and then shield fly off of him. to get over here fast, but I don't think that that's gonna work. Yeah, because there's 2 extra BFG shots. I could totally use a BFG on the Cyber Demon Mancubus fight. I should. It's a really good one. Use it on. Oh, that's right. There's pulverizer strats now. For this, I should be doing that. You just run like this. I forgot about that. What levels before this? Belly of the Beast. I could use an extra BFG there, but I don't even need one. That means I could use one on Temple of Lamarith, or the one before that. That'd be fast. God, this run's gonna be so bad, but it's okay. It seems like the loader river's working now. It just didn't in the first couple levels. Where am I? I don't even know what killed me. Okay. Not the snake being literally inside a heaven splitter and still attacking. That would be ridiculous. The game would never do that. Uh-oh. Just die, please. Oh, thank you. Woo! That was scary. Just finished watching a 1 hour run of someone doing this. Let's go. Hyped to see you're watching some speedruns. That's probably unrestricted, considering the length. Oh, I got stuck on him for a second. That's not good. That sucks. Not only was that not... Well, I guess it was fine. I didn't kill the witch with it, but I did kill her clone, which is good, I guess. I didn't kill the clone, but I also used a BFG shot, like a real one. Oh, DMC5 is Virgil, I see. Sorry. Reading is hard. How do you solo DMC5 as Virgil? What do you mean? Just select Virgil as a character? Yeah, Virgil speedruns are pretty boring because you just spam like one attack. Virgil's broken. Dude, he flew into the thing and... Hello? How's the new patch looking? Increase enemy aggression and increase enemy spawns in early game. On Nightmare, definitely much harder. I think this patch will be faster on easy though. But the combat is so much harder in those early game missions and some of the later ones too because of the increased enemy aggression. There, I think I just found one combat encounter that was nerfed. Everything else was made harder. If it was changed at all. Well, except for the stuff that I assume you've already seen. Like the dragon only has parryable attacks now. You never get attacks that aren't parryable as a dragon. That's a pretty nice one. The mech keeps your charge when doing attacks. It doesn't lose your charge all the way like it did before. Yeah, dude, the on Sentinel Barracks is like way harder now. That's the biggest change of Sentinel Barracks, I feel like. Because the Impaler fight's a lot harder. The Impaler fight's a lot harder. The Vagary fight now has Mancubus spawns in it. So that fight's a lot harder. And like all of the enemies, when they spawn in, they instantly start attacking you. There's also a bunch extra in the Vagary fight on Holy City. There's also a bunch of Mancubus that spawn during that fight. Okay, but you're gonna save so much time in this mech section though. That's the thing is, like, I don't know. The dragon sections, you save time on Holy City. all the other sections are probably about the same. The fact that you keep your charge for here though probably saves like a minute. At least. Yeah, all the early game levels are harder. Except for the mech one. This might save 2 minutes even on this level alone. This level is the biggest time save, easily. On this patch. But like, look at how fast that like, dude, you might save upwards of 2 minutes on this fight, actually, on this mission. But early game is way harder and slower for sure. Yeah, massive. Thanks to the raid, dude. How'd your stream go? You don't think UN's gonna be any harder outside chapters 1 through 4? Enemy aggression overall is just higher though, so I disagree. I think every section is harder. How'd your stream, dude? Welcome everybody. I'm just doing a run through on the new patch to see what the dealio is. God, this mission is such a big time save though on this patch. Like, holy shit. I think they may have nerfed your rocket damage a little bit on this fight though. Yeah, enemy aggression in general is just higher for sure. Are you playing the new patch, Massive? Bonk. Bonk. Sentinel Barracks, officially hardest chapter in the game. Dude, what? Hello? They buff those? I feel like they buffed those. I was shooting the upgraded Ravager on that thing for like 10 minutes straight and it just would not die. Jesus. Yeah, that's great. I love when you reload checkpoint, you get hit during the black screen. It does definitely have more health. Good lord, they just don't die. That wasn't the parry? Yeah, they used to pop so fast. Can you fuck off, ass crack? Can you not hit me during a load screen for 90% of my health? This update is like, yeah, it takes 2 impaler shots now. They have twice as much health. Again, I think for easy difficulty, this will be a faster patch to play on, but I think it'll be slower on Nightmare and Ultra Nightmare. That seems to be my verdict here. It's way harder, so... Oh, not paying attention, reading chat. What's up, D-Blue? How you doing, dude? Why is it faster on easy? Because the mech sections recharge, like you keep your charge after using it, and then the dragon sections you always get the attacks that you can parry every time, and you can shoot for longer. But there's additional enemy spawns in a lot of different places. And they made the enemies more aggressive, especially their lag time on startup from spawn in is a lot faster. And there's, yeah, quite a few common encounters that are made harder too. Including this one. Wow. Why faster on easy? Because you don't have to worry about dying. So like you can take advantage of the good stuff, but not have to worry about the stuff that makes things harder. So like you get the faster mech sections and stuff, but the extra enemy aggression doesn't actually change anything really. If that makes sense. This patch is definitely way fucking harder though. It'd be fun for challenge runs. I'll definitely keep it installed. Dude, there's like 7 stone imps in that impaler room. On top of the extra like 3 Hell Knights and 2 Pinkies. It's fucking, there's like a whole wave of just stone imps. It's crazy. Yeah, and then the first Vagary fight has 2 Mancubus in it. Like, in the fight. Yeah, these don't die in one hit anymore. So much for the no shield run. Like, you're using the fucking shield in this run, I don't care. Yeah, the mechs infinitely respawn, yeah. They're just like hazards in the arena. Give me some fucking health, fucko. Please. That works, like, technically. If they would break... They won't break. Also... I have the firewall on. Is there... Did they put the Ravager buff, like, in the game? Not just as a tunable? Or is it always like this? I can't remember. It's been ages. It's been years, a millennia even, since I've been to this boss. So I always reset. Definitely fun for playing normally. I like all the changes, really. But just not going to be fast for speedruns. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, there's lost souls everywhere. Good times, really. Nice. What am I? What is that attack? He has a non-parryable long-range attack? I didn't even know that. You just jump over those, actually. Nice. Bro, I need ammo. Just, can you hold that for a second? Thanks. I feel like they gave Azrak more health. Maybe I'm just coping because I suck, but... Could be cope. Then they tune down the Ravager against bosses. Yes, but that is a tunable. And I have tunables off. So I should still have a good Ravager. Because the tunables and the patches are different from each other, so you can like... I'm not saving these splits. You can have like one but not the other. That makes sense. You can like play on the patch, but then have the firewall up and then the tunables don't work. Kill the empowered all night before I go to kill the other guy. Yeah, I'm dead. Fuck me. Sour Demon's fun. It's a fun fight. Yeah, I was gonna say, goddamn, that was only his first glory kill, and then they died. Yeah, Vagary is quite something. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting, that's for sure. I'm just gonna down patch and do some more runs after I finish this one run. I think I have concluded for sure with all the stuff I've learned that this is not the faster version to run Nightmare or Ultra Nightmare on. How did I hit everyone except for him? That is genuinely impressive. Are the Mech and Dragon parts any better? Yeah, the mech parts especially were a lot better. I think on the mission final battle, you'd probably save like a minute or two, even maybe even 3 minutes on combat alone there. But the combat is so much harder everywhere else and longer that I don't think it would save time overall. So I think that on easy difficulty, this is the faster patch. But on Nightmare and Ultra Nightmare, it's just so much harder that there's no way. Even if you played like way better, there's still a lot of sections in the early game that just have more enemies that you have to kill. Killing those extra enemies is obviously not safe, and also slower. How have we not found a skip for this yet? Surely you've got to be able to like get up there. Oh, that's fantastic. Shouldn't have pulled the lever. Surely you could do something like this and then like unless there just isn't. It's like doesn't exist until after you pull the lever or you push the block. Maybe. The dragon parts were not that much faster. You might still be able to do that. It's something to look into for sure. Oh yeah, that's right. I told myself I shouldn't do that. And I forgot. Oopsies. Should not kill the chain gunner. Before the Baron, because then the witch will spawn at the same time as the Baron. But I didn't die, so never punished. I do have one less BFG here than I'm supposed to. That's because I haven't picked up the other BFG. That's right. That makes sense. Oh wait, no, I still have one less BFG. Well, shit. Because I accidentally used one earlier on. The spikes were in the ground, bro. How'd that hurt me? Spikes originate from the ground streamer. That's where they always are. That's not what I meant. Can we get away from him? Nice, that was a really good fight. Cool. Should make sure I already had the vagary equipped on that slot. Not the vagary. That's the enemy I killed, the Ravager. Oh. Okay. Neat. Get the trigger. Okay. Infinite Berserk still works. I feel like they made this harder too. I'm not gonna have Berserk now, huh? They definitely made this harder. Also, I don't have Berserk now? Berserk is still there, okay. I've never died there. I've literally never died there. So I think they made all the boss fights harder. They made the early game harder. What? It's not real. Okay, it deloads on a restart checkpoint. That means I have to fight the boss normally. This is gonna take forever. They definitely... Definitely made the final boss harder. Welcome edition in my book. Come on, really? It does. This does honestly look a lot like the first area in Eternal. Barge vibes for sure. And Rytro and Alu are definitely gonna have to redo those max sliders runs. Shit's gonna be so much harder now. Fuck. Alu thought he was getting close to max sliders UN, like he's gonna make some progress. Nope. Won't be that bad, you just have to clear it again, that's fair. I feel like everything is harder. The enemy aggression is even higher. And they just don't die. On a UN run with a BBM to trigger the door, go back and get the perk before the last fight. Is that considered legal for a run? Yeah, that's what I was trying to do. But then I wasn't expecting the fight to be so much harder. So I was just gonna do the strat that I normally do, which you just stand there and fucking unload. Because you just unlock them and they die instantly. I actually let them play the game a little bit. And I died. And so if you die, you can't get the berserk again. It doesn't work. Which is something that I also just found out. That's fun. That's not a patch thing, I don't think. That's just part of it, pretty sure. Was there a checkpoint when you beat the first phase? I actually don't know. I've never died on this fight. You think you do? That's nice. Let's not find out. It just seems like the witch is more aggressive. He doesn't really seem much worse. NMG is a bad name. GG. NMG is a bad name because the word glitch is something that should be completely avoided at all costs. Because people lose their fucking mind when they see the word glitch. And all sorts of semantics comes out. Glitch is a bad word, dude. Well, GG. How so? Because then we start talking about dev intention, and dev intention is impossible to know, and also isn't actually a thing. Like, people think, okay, well, like, no one can define what a glitch is because there are no, like, there's no such thing as a glitch. You know what I mean? Like, it's not a solidified term that actually means anything. It means different things to different people. Like, I think literally the interpretation, like the literal interpretation of the word glitch just means when the code does something it's not supposed to. Like when a fucking 0 flips to a 1 when it's not supposed to. Like actual, like solar flare glitch, right? But once you start placing developer intentions on interactions inside of a video game, then you've lost the plot because think about it. How many people worked on Doom the Dark Ages? Like 500 people? Like, how do you know what is and is not intended? Because if you ask different people on the team, different people will tell you different things about different interactions. And I guarantee you, even someone like the main director has no idea how a lot of the stuff is coded or how it's actually supposed to work on a technical level. And there's so many variables that are all interacting with each other at the same time. It's impossible to identify what all the possible outcomes of that are and whether they're intended or not. Like, also, even if it's not intended and you can prove it's not intended, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's not an emergent gameplay mechanic that is enjoyed. Like, comboing is a thing that was invented in Street Fighter 2. Like, being able to chain a series of attacks into a combo was completely accidentally invented when they made Street Fighter 2. And so, like, that is the core principle of all fighting games currently. And I don't know, it's like you're not allowed to use combos in Street Fighter 2 because it's a glitch, because it wasn't intended or whatever. It's like, it just doesn't make sense, especially in the context of a speedrun, because I hate to break it to you, but anytime you add your own like third-party goal or mechanic on top of a previously existing game, you are not doing what's intended. Like playing the game quickly in and of itself is not intended. So the way that that affects all other variables in the game is not intended. Like, it's just not how you're supposed to play the game. So like, there is no intended. And then also, like, you could ask Hugo and he could say it's intended, and then you could ask the person who actually coded the interaction and they might say it's not intended, and it's like, okay, well now, who do you believe? What, do you take a straw poll of like all 500 people that worked on the game and like come to a consensus about what's intended? It's like, that's fucking dumb. People will change their minds all the time about whether they think it's intended or not, even if they worked on it themselves. And like it being intended doesn't actually matter, because sometimes gameplay mechanics are emergent, and that doesn't mean that they're bad. It just means that they weren't explicitly designed to happen. And it's like, what, do you want to like ask the developer every single time any sort of overlapping interaction happens if this is intended or not? It's like, that doesn't seem like a fun way to conduct yourself, you know, like, nor would it even work, because they just wouldn't answer you. All right, I want to make sure this is a different version of the game. I'm on the old patch now. I just wanted to make like triple check to make sure that I'm on the right version. And so like, you know, here's an example. It's like, if you jump the instant you land, you maintain your velocity. Is that intended? Because that's literally what happens. The code does that, you know? Like, if you recoded the game from scratch and wrote the exact same code, it would still do that, right? And so it's like, okay, so that means that, you know, going really fast and maintaining your speed by timing the jump at the right time is intended, but you still will get people baby raging at you on YouTube comment sections about how that's cheating or whatever, because it's a glitch. It's like not even what they mean when they say glitch. What they mean when they say glitch, I've thought about this a lot because I deal with people like this all the time. what people mean when they get mad or talk about cheating or glitches being cheating or whatever is what they mean is that the difference between your playthrough and their playthrough, that's what they mean. Basically, the difference between like playing it fast and playing it normally. They want the speedrun to just be playing it normally without doing anything different than what they did on their normal playthrough. The problem with that is what everyone did on their normal playthrough is completely different from each other. So you can't even have a universalized like standard of play because it's a sandbox. All video games are a sandbox. So you're gonna do things differently. You know what I mean? That's just how it is. And then also, it is like, fundamentally, it is a different game. Because when you decide that you're going to complete it fast, you're adding an additional variable to the game that wasn't there originally. And every time you change a variable in a game, you are creating a new game. You know, like I used the example earlier, like if you are playing tag, that's one game with its own set of rules, and the meta for tag is one way because like the rules are set up in a way that makes that the most optimal way to play, right? But that meta changes, and so therefore the game changes when you add a new rule. So like if you change the rule to make it so that you only have 60 seconds to tag somebody, otherwise the game ends and you lose, then like you're no longer going to care about long-term stamina because all that matters is that you don't lose in the first 60 seconds, right? And so like that would be if you told someone to play that instead of playing tag, they'd be like, well, this is a completely different game, it's not tag anymore. And it's like, well, yeah, that's the whole point, right? Like you changed a variable, therefore it is not the same game. So like looking at a speedrun of any game as playing the game but fast without considering it a completely new experience, a new game, is just like missing the point of games. Like that's just not how games as an idea work, you know? And so like if you're trying to create a category, for example, or you're talking about, oh, like it use glitches or not use glitches, it's like, well, if you're talking about dev intention, this is dumb because the devs didn't intend for you to play it fast. So you're already playing a completely different game. And then at that point, it's just arbitrary. Like, what do you like? Like, what is fun for you? And like, that's what restricted seeks to do, is just like, what do the speedrunning community want to do? And oftentimes you want a run that is somewhat reminiscent of the original game design and whatever, you know, quote unquote intended thing that is. But at the end of the day, no matter how intended your run is, it's still not intended because, you know, you're not intended to beat the game fast. So my philosophy then is like, well, if you're not intended to beat the game fast, then just do whatever's fun. And so if these emergent gameplay mechanics are more fun to do fast, then just do them, right? Why make yourself beholden to like artificial rules that aren't actually there based on like some sort of moral superiority idea that like you need to be doing it like the dev intended way when you're already doing something that is inherently not dev intended. But so like that's obviously, I think that's like a really long-winded to say, like it's a really long-winded way to say things that people just already think inherently. You know, that's like me backwards explaining speedrunning to people that already know what that is, if that makes sense. But the way that glitchless as a term comes into play here is that when people think glitch, it's a really loaded term and it involves dev intentions with that loadedness, you know? And so bringing in dev intentions into something that isn't dev intended in the slightest in a completely new game, you know, like a non-related to the original game, which is the speedrun, right? This doesn't make any sense. And then people start attributing like arbitrary value to one way of playing over another just because it's what they headcanon think is intended, even though, like we've established, there is no intention, right? anything that you do as a consequence of trying to beat the game fast is emergent gameplay based on a completely different game that you've constructed. And like often people want a run that is more similar to what they perceive to be, you know, intended. But that doesn't mean that it being intended is the factor that you should use, right? I feel like it being intended is a nonsense factor that doesn't actually help. It's more so like, what do you think is more fun, you know? And oftentimes those two things line up, you know, like it being somewhat intended and it being like perceived to be intended and also being fun are usually one and the same, but not always, right? Like bunny hopping, for example, in a source game is obviously not intended, but people think it's fun, you know? So like, you're not gonna see people speedrun Half-Life without bunny hopping. Because why would you do that? It's just more fun not to. It's more fun to do it, right? Like, all right, this is the combat encounter. That's really different. So let's see. Yeah, this is definitely old patch. Okay, cool. Yeah, because it's like, why not? And like, sure, it's not intended, right? But like, if it's more fun, then why not play that way? Wait, what? Wait. The fight should have ended there. Stop having fun. That's not how I play the game. Yeah, that's basically the vibes. And so like, my point is, by sidestepping glitchless as a term entirely, when talking about speedrun categories, you were establishing that this rule set that we were playing under here does not necessarily care about dev intention. I think that's really what the idea is. And like separating the category from any sort of indication of like dev intention being a priority. Yeah, no, this is not downpatch. But this should be downpatch. Because people just like go into it like caring about that, and then you have, and then you devolve into a semantics argument, right? Like you don't want to devolve into semantics arguments because it's not fun, especially when it doesn't, you know, it just shouldn't matter. It's just whatever's fun. Yeah, okay, that definitely, I'm not playing on the downpatch version. It's good to know. I thought that should have been. Let me see. No. Okay, I think I see why.